After a year of stress and worry and fear and anxiety, this week, my wife and I were able to go get our COVID-19 vaccines. Well, hey there, how are you? And I hope wherever you are, you and yours are safe and healthy. It's vaccine time. So this is our road trip, and I'll give you a little idea of what we experienced and some thoughts around the whole thing. First things first, though, I want to hear in the comments your thoughts, your opinions, and your experience. Vaccination, yes or no? Have you gotten your COVID-19 vaccine? What was your experience? Are you not going to get it? And please share why. I'm going to say this out front. I'm not asking you so I can judge you or shout you down or call you names or insult your intelligence. I genuinely want to understand the thought process and motivation of folks that are not willing to get this vaccine. So, interesting way that this all came about when we first heard eligibility here in the state of New York for folks that have pre-existing conditions, so what they call comorbidities. You probably heard that word a lot. If you have an underlying medical condition that can, increase the severity of a COVID-19 infection, then you became eligible a few weeks ago. Actually, probably almost a month ago in the state of New York. So we began the process of jumping online and trying to find a vaccination site, trying to find an appointment. Appointments were hard to get. We'd be in this website for the better part of an hour, jumping around to different locations. The one closest to us never seemed to have anything. So we started spreading out and looking in nearby cities. There was a total of about 5-ish sites that were reasonably located, within a decent driving distance. And we landed. We landed our shots about 2 hours away and made a day of it, right? Took a day off of work. Wife and I decided to just get in the car and go and get this thing done. I was a little bummed. If you stick with me to the end of the video here, you're going to see just a brief glimpse of the field house as we were walking up to it. There's National Guard troops. I couldn't take any video or pictures of them. There's state troopers. I didn't want to take any pictures or video of them. And then a big old sign right on the door that says no pictures or photography of any kind once you enter the building. So dang it, I wanted to get something. But nonetheless, my wife was willing to break the law for me when I was seated in the chair and when I was actually getting my shot. She was able to snap a picture, surreptitiously get a shot of just the moment when the needle went in my arm. And that's what you see on the thumbnail of this here video. Let's see. We'll talk about side effects real quick here. Yes. Within about an hour, I started getting sort of a tightness in my jaw, like both sides of my jaw. I felt like, you ever have like a steak that's not cooked quite right and you're like, it's too chewy and your jaw gets kind of tired from all that heavy chewing. You ever have that happen? That's what it felt like. I was like, Jesus, am I going to get lockjaw from this thing? That lasted for about an hour and a half or so. And then it went away. Almost on the way home, about 30 minutes from home, my right knee started to ache a bit, and I was getting like this shooting pain down my leg to my ankle. I'm like, okay, I just need this drive to end. And I started getting a bit fatigued. Got home, probably by about 7 p.m., I was really feeling kind of worn down and wiped out and just kind of a general malaise, I guess is what you'd call it. So, but that all passed. I took some ibuprofen. I went to bed. I woke up today. And I felt pretty darn good. This has been such a stressful year for me because I know that with my health history, a COVID-19 infection has a real good chance of being fatal to me. I have had asthma my entire life, not just my adult life, my entire life. I have had a disease that has done a lot of bad things to my lungs, and I have a lot of breathing problems. Plus, I was skinny for about a year and a half in 2019, but that didn't last, so I'm kind of chunky again. Blood pressure is an issue. My wife has an autoimmune disease that we've been dealing with for a long time, so it made sense, right? Every single day and every single night worrying, did we pick this thing up somewhere, right? We're fastidious mask wearers. We wash hands. We avoid contact with people. But the bottom line is my wife and I have to get up and leave the house and go to work every single day. Our kids are homeschooled, so they are out of the building. The building's had issues. Jesus. I keep hearing everybody talk about how schools are safe and the CDC says it's fine. Yeah, well, the numbers I see coming out of my school district would suggest otherwise. So, everybody's got to make their own decision for their own family in their own situation where they live. My decision was I don't have a lot of faith in the school district near me to satisfy my my sense of security for my kids. So anyways, we need to go get these freaking shots, man. It was scary on the way because I was worried about being turned away for some reason, right? We get this confirmation email when we made the appointment, and then you got to do the secondary form to validate, and then you're like, okay, do I have to have a note from my doctor to prove that I have these medical conditions that qualify me? What do I have to print? What do I have to bring? So in the preceding weeks, I started calling this hotline that they had for appointments and questions, and I was asking very pointedly, what do I need? Do I need a letter from my doctor? Can I show you my health record? Should I just bring my freaking prescription bottles with me? And much to my surprise, over and over, I kept being told, no, you don't need any of it. You're signing an affidavit, you're signing a certification, and that's so you need. We knew that this site we were going to was at a college, a State University of New York college campus, the big old field house where they would normally do their track meets and their athletics programs in the winter. Was the place that was going to be set up for this whole thing. I just was so scared, not just of being turned away, but that something was gonna be wrong or go wrong. And I think that comes from this year of just being constantly worried about literally everything. And you talk about the mental health crisis that has come out of this pandemic. It's not because things were locked down. It's not because people were stuck at home. It's not because we were not able to socialize and not able to gather. None of that stuff made me freaked out or worried. None of that stuff caused mental stress and emotional stress. It's the fear that this stupid virus is going to come home and infect somebody, and you roll that dice. You roll that, roll that 20-sided Dungeons and Dragons dice. Please don't roll a 1, because everybody else has to roll 2, and you're probably going to be fine, but you roll a 1, you're done, and you just don't know. You have no way to know. So we went, and we dealt with it, and we did it. So that's why we did what we did. I was worried about side effects. I've never done particularly well with flu shots. Interest of full disclosure, I didn't get flu shots for a very long time. There was probably a good 10 years or more where I did not get the yearly flu shot because I would have bad reactions to them. And I know, I get it, and we've been educated and we've relearned the idea that yes, you're supposed to have a reaction to the shot. Your body is going to generate an immune response. That means body aches, that means possibly a fever, that means all kinds of interesting things. So we went. So, listen, go get your shots. Go get the vaccine. And again, share with me if you're not going to and you can't. You just can't bring yourself. I want to understand why. I want a chance to try and change your mind in a respectful way. So, that's it. I wanted to share this story of going to get our COVID-19 vaccines. And hopefully from here, everyone gets their shots. We get past this thing. We get on with life and on to better things. So appreciate your time. Thanks so much for spending a couple of minutes, and I'll see you on the road.